I just want to say that we're very, very pleased with ourselves. And I want to tell you who we is, because it's not Grow Wellington. We is the group of people here. As Mark said, the Bright Ideas Challenge came as an idea, but actually what it was driven by was this statement of, God, there's some amazing sort of wisdom and brilliance in this region we call Wellington. And there's all these investors and these entrepreneurs and there's people that can support businesses, but wouldn't it be just cool if they all get together? And everyone's so frustrated because no one ever gets together. And the concept of the Bright Ideas Challenge was really just that we would get everyone together so that we could turn these bright ideas into a success. So the we is all of us, and we are very pleased with ourselves because we have done a great job. There's a massive caveat to that, but I'll get to that in a minute. So the starting point is, what did we do? I've got some numbers for you. We got 1,200 bright ideas from the process. Actually, that's not true. We got 1,200 ideas. 1,000 of them were bright, which is pretty cool, 200 stupid ideas out of 1,200, that's all right. And I want to emphasise the point around those 200 stupid ideas, that people took the time to come up with an idea and took the time to write it down and sort of submit it, because they thought it was a good idea. And even those people we went back to and said, guys, come on, let's think it through. That's not really such a clever idea, is it? Or, it's a little bit obvious. But anyone who's got an entrepreneurial spirit is the people that we want to engage with to try and help. So those 1,000 ideas came down to 500, what you might call genuinely original ideas. So a lot of people, again, quite entrepreneurial in their thinking, but it had already been done before somewhere around the world. And of those 500, they came down to around 200 that were genuinely original, and a key driver for us was that they would be potentially export-oriented, so something that would have a real impact on Wellington and this country. Out of those 200, we ended up with 150 business plans, which tells you a little thing right from the start. There were 50 people who really didn't have the energy or desire or whatever to even write a business plan, so that's kind of cool. They self-selected. Out of those 150 business plans, we're now down to 80, and 80 is a huge number of genuinely really exciting opportunities that we believe will have the support of individual people who can lead it, the support of the business networks around it, and can turn it into something cool. So from 1,200 great ideas, we're down to 80, but the exciting thing is that we've got 80 really exciting business potentials. But those numbers are only half of it, because also, as part of this whole community, and we call it an innovation community because we're kind of bureaucratic and we like to have stupid names, but what we really mean is just a bunch of people working together. Not only do we have these 1,200 ideas, but we've had over 50 organisations commit support either up to this process or beyond this process to turn those ideas into genuine business opportunities. So we now have an innovation community that's starting to work well in this region. And, to put another number in it, there is $500,000 that has either been spent or is committed to be spent by organisations or people to support these ideas. And it's interesting that just about everyone here that submitted a bright idea said, I better do it because there's a prize of $25,000. I think the least exciting thing that is being supported is the $25,000. The most exciting thing is the commitment of resource and support from the community in areas of IP, areas of marketing support, of product development, product manufacture, product design, financial modelling, business planning, all the things that you really, really care about in a business. And probably the most exciting thing for me is that those things are being implemented at the most appropriate time. Which brings me to my caveat about these bright ideas. As we started with 1,200 ideas, we've got down to 80 really, really exciting ones, and we will, as Grow Wellington, ensure that the support is given by putting in financial means and the connections to make sure they're developed. The reality is, though, that the revenue that's been generated for this region out of all those ideas still stands at zero. And so we actually haven't done anything yet. It's kind of been fun and it's really cool, and we're going to celebrate tonight because but we're not celebrating that we've finished. We're celebrating that we've met a point in time on developing a business, which is taking an idea, really thinking through what's required, and then putting the resource behind it. And one of the kind of key messages I'd like to give to you is that we're going to recognise some of the brightest ideas, the ideas that have been, I suppose, voted for by this innovation community, and say, you guys, we think you've got the brightest ideas so far. But for most of you, remember when you're back at school, the guy who came top in the class probably didn't end up doing that well, and the guy that was the star of the rugby team didn't end up doing that well, and you can tell that I'm obviously bitter that I never came top of the class. But the fact is that we have had 150 business plans put in as part of the Bright Ideas Challenge, and regardless of whether we recognise the brightest idea tonight, or whether we talk about being in the 80 that have been progressed, or whether it's the 150, the fact is that we will not grow Wellington, but the community, we have committed that we will support these ideas going forward. And I want to make another statement, which is that everyone here, as I said, has either submitted an idea or is part of supporting that community, and if you're not, you shouldn't really be here, should you? But you can feel kind of guilty, but get over that guilt, because this Bright Ideas Challenge is not a one-off thing. Our aim is to make Wellington as a region a really, really entrepreneurial, innovative region, and the only way we can do that is by connecting up the bright ideas. We will continue with the Bright Ideas Challenge, so if you have more ideas, keep it going, and we will continue to support businesses going through. So our request for you is that you celebrate tonight the fact that all of us have got together as a community, but be afraid that we haven't got any revenue yet, and we better focus on what's coming in the future. Thanks all.